Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast, man. We finna talk week one of the 2023 NFL season. We're not gonna get all emotional and sappy. We already did all down for the Thursday night game. And of course, we're gonna recap that Thursday night game where we saw the Lions go into Kansas City and get the upset win, starting off at 1-0. And as always, go down, like and subscribe, comment your favorite bets of the weekend, comment your picks, comment what out of Thursday night football and all that. As always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul Pickle Wyndham Concha, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev, Water Boy Savoy. And you already know how we coming. I got my cat, Mia Bella, in this motherfucker. And we talking that football, Paul. Don't you just love you can smell the fresh grass when the NFL week one this year. The turf and all. I love this is one of my favorite times of the year.
Love it, bro. I love the kickoff. Just like everybody, like even if you're not a sports fan, you know like when kickoff is. You know when week one is. Like after that first game, it's like back into motion, babies. Get used to it. Sundays coming up.
Yep.
But we got a little taste of what we've been desiring all off season. We had a real football gameplay this Thursday. We saw the Chiefs get upset at home. We brought up how there's going to be a home atmosphere, and it kind of early on it showed how loud that stadium was. But the Lions, I mean, I feel like there's kind of a couple of takeaways to get into this game, but the Lions get the dub. How do you feel about this game?
Man, I just hit the loudest sneeze of all time. That just scared my cat.
Oh yeah, cats do not fuck with sneezes.
But the Lions, shout out my Lions. They got the W. I picked against them because I didn't expect the Chiefs to kind of drop the ball, literally, like they did. But shout out the Lions. They looked good. Offense was hitting. Defense got the pick six. That changed the entire momentum of the game. Dan Campbell is a big, ballsy motherfucker going for it on fourth, down on his own 20. So, yeah, shout out my Lions. They did really, really good. I wish I picked for them, but they did great. How would you feel about the game?
First shout out, 1-0 my best bets to start the year. Lions plus 5.5. Shit, you could have took it at 4 whenever the game actually kicked off. But Lions get the dub. I feel like they might be similar to the Jaguars last year, where their rookies are going to make an impact. We saw Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs would have had a touchdown if he didn't slip on within the 5-yard line. Like he had so much space. I don't know when he got the ball. You saw how fast he was. Like how the difference in speed and acceleration. Like he was looking like a dog. David Montgomery. I was telling people you don't pay a running back $20 million to not run him into the ground. He's going to get a lot of touches as well. And the offensive line looks like the biggest. Like the offensive line and defensive line to me are the two biggest takeaways. It was like offensive line, monsters. Defensive line, some young monsters. Like Aiden Hutchinson hit a double spin move and had the fucking offensive lineman falling, which was kind of nuts. And he deserved to fall. You saw how far Taylor kept fucking lining up on the line? Even the commentators are talking about, bro, that's a false start. Like, that's what the fuck is he doing, bro? He's all the way in the backfield. He's lining up with the running back right now.
No cap, bro was all the way in the back. And he eventually got a false start call late in the game?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shit was bad. But you're not lying. That D-line was hungry all night getting back there. And they did. There was sometimes the O-line was able to stand for Pat Mahomes, but a lot of the night, that D-line was getting back there.
And then the other rookies, shouting out how all the rookies. My pick for defensive rookie of the year, Campbell. He made a big pass breakup. Yeah, he did. He had some tackles, and he was doing his thing at linebacker. But he was so close to having an interception. But the other rookie who did get the interception, Bell, that was the difference maker. I feel like in the game was that defensive touchdown right there. Because even though the Lions should have scored him when they entered that red zone, that other drive before that, and fucking the fumble by Jeff Reynolds, or Marvin Jones fumbles it, and then they get the ball. But I feel like the Lions could be that Jaguars team where their young players are going to make big differences. And even though they didn't go out and sign a whole bunch of studs, the people they did sign were good pickups. Like a brand new cornerback room. And yes, Kadarius Toney dropped that shit. a lot of them shit. Sky Moore didn't have a good game. Like none of the Marvis Valdez Scantling did a little bit of this and that, but he wasn't nothing too crazy. The cornerbacks just did enough. I felt like when the brand new corners that they went out and got, and like Sutton and somebody else, I can't remember his name right now. But like I feel like they could be like this year's version of Jaguars of last year.
Great take, definitely. This game reminded me how much momentum is important in football. Because once that defense took that pick six, everything changed. There was more confidence, and it felt like that's when the drops are really, really happening for the Chiefs. And also, it showed Travis Kelce is a very, very important piece of this offense because if you don't have to put three people on Travis Kelce, you're really leaving. You can really have people hold their zones and really stop shit against the Chiefs. And I really want to see when Travis Kelce is going to get back because it doesn't look like the Chiefs are going to be looking too good until he gets there.
They're saying he should be good because they have 10 days of rest since they played Thursday. So he should be back week 2, but you never want to rush it. But the defense didn't look too bad without Chris Jones. I would give him that. But I don't know, just because I also do think if Marvin Jones didn't fumble in the red zone, they probably scored near 30 points like for the game. And I'm just like, they're always going to play shootouts, but you can't. I got to see more sample size out of a non-Chris Jones defense.
I was about to say, I think the defense didn't play horrible, but I also don't think this is a defense for a championship team when Chris Jones isn't there.
Yeah, that's I think the perfect way of setting it. And also, they punted it on like the 40-yard line, like whenever they made that one punt all the way, whatever. Like they could have gone for it. They were so close. So like it's like I feel like the Lions were moving the ball pretty easily throughout the game.
Nice.
But let's get into Sunday and Monday, boys. We got the full slate ahead of us. Not a lot of big spreads, and as always, we'll wrap up. Oh, real quick, Kev, gonna say something.
So I know the Chiefs did have to deal with a lot of drops.
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, he did drop a lot. Pat Mahomes hit a lot of great dimes, but a lot of times he was rushed, he was pressured. Online, the enemy. How do you think there was a notice that be? Is it just Travis Kelce being gone and the Lions being a good team, or is there a difference without the enemy?
So without Kelce last year, Mahomes threw to like 12 different receivers, and they looked good and they won the game. This game without him, he still threw to like 10 receivers. Like he threw to a lot. He was getting everyone involved. I think it was more of the drops because if that one play where Mahomes is dancing and he throws across the body to Sky Moore and like he drops it and it would have been a first down on like a third and something, like that would have been like one of those like, oh shit, hold it, you don't see what Mahomes just did without Travis Kelce. Kadarius Toney, literally they're down by 2.5 minutes left, a third and whatever. Kadarius Toney hits it right in the hands beyond first down. No one's near him. He just drops it. And then like if they would have got that first down, they're within field goal range. They're going to burn the clock down, kick the field goal, probably win the game. But so then we're talking a different tune, like, oh, they were able to get it done. So I think it's just without Kelce. I still think the offense was being pretty good. Andy Reid was still doing his thing. But without Kelce, those jet sweep shit ain't going to work. You need Kelce on the field to like add some like extra eyes on the tight end, so you can get the wide receiver jet sweep shit going. Like other than that, like it won't work, I don't think. And they did that like 4 times, and every time that shit got blown up.
So that's real now. So yeah, that's a good point. And then I think this is the season that they finally start paying wide receivers because they let Tyreek walk last year. They motherfucking let Juju walk.
They let Juju walk because he was talking all that shit. They were going to sign him, but then he got onto Twitter and was doing his Eli Apple impersonation, and then Andy Reid was like, "We don't do that in this over here."
Mm.
Oh, TikTok boy had to go.
There it goes.
Well, let's get into the Sunday matchup. September 10th, first weekend of football. We're going to start off with the biggest spread of the weekend, 9.5 points. Ravens are favored at home against the Houston Texans. It was 10 points whenever it opened, or 10.5. and I'm going to assume it'll probably be around 10 whenever they kick off. And just my little stat that I have for this game is John Harbaugh, when he's a double-digit favorite, has never lost a football game.
Wow.
So whenever he's supposed to win, he has won every time. So like that's all I need to know. I do think the Texans may keep it a little closer. 10 points is a lot for the very first game, especially because the Ravens have a new offensive coordinator that the preseason they weren't looking too great with. I feel like they're still learning the system. So I want to take the 10 points, but I do think the Ravens to win is at home in the season opener after losing back-to-back preseason games, and that shit's dead. That record's dead. I feel like they're going to come in kind of ready. Like, like kind of get that, like shut everybody up. Let's get back to the show on the road.
The Ravens lost back-to-back preseason games. Vegas has something to do with that. Vegas said, we're losing way too much money.
Well, the other teams were playing their starters up until like the third and fourth quarters. So like they were it was like they were trying to beat that fucking shit.
Oh, I don't respect that at all. But
yeah.
It is what it is. But shout out the Ravens. Shout out the Texans. New coach, new quarterback. I would love to see them do something, but there's no way a rookie head coach, even though it is D'Amico Ryans, but there's no way a rookie head coach with a rookie quarterback is going to go all the way to Baltimore and bust their ass. That's why I'm thinking that they could try to make it close. They could maybe keep it within the spread. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens cover on this one. They really make win by 2 touchdowns. Lamar comes really active. Odell comes hyped the fuck up. Like, if the Ravens really show up and show that, like, yo, we're going to be a problem this year, we're looking to win our division, we're going to do it. We pay Lamar all this money, they're going to do it.
And there are certain head coaches that completely destroy rookie quarterbacks. Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, Shanahan, like Tomlin, like a rookie.
Arthur Smith.
Whenever they play against a rookie quarterback, their records speak for themselves.
Hell yeah. And this is on some funny shit. Motherfucking, did you see Lamar Jackson get called out on, I want to say AEW by Chris Jericho?
No. I fuck with that.
It was funny as hell. That boy, I guess they were in Baltimore, and Lamar was in the crowd. All you hear is Chris Jericho go, "Man, I can even kick Lamar Jackson's ass," and they just motherfucking pointed camera to Lamar. He just over here just looking like laughing and shit. And
I'm just like, Lamar in here.
I'm like, see, if the Broward part of Lamar came out, nigga would be wrong. But I hear you, Chris.
No, but Chris wanted the GOATs ever since he had that long list.
I said he did beat not Brock Lesnar. There was somebody that he fought and beat. It might have been Brock. Who did he fight?
I don't know, but that's the fact that he's still going. Like, even I remember whenever I was watching him.
Goldberg.
He was cold.
That's who he fought. Yeah, he fought Goldberg and won. Yeah, that was nice.
It was
on to the game.
Wow. Yeah, next game, we made our pick. Our next game, Vikings are 5.5-point favorite at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield is the starter. I mean, they still got the weapons. Defense is still intact. Shaq Barrett's healthy. Vikings, Jordan Addison, rookie, going to be playing. Madison is going to be the starting running back. But it should be an interesting game. I mean, 5.5 points. It's within the touchdown, nothing too crazy. How do you feel about it?
The Booty Pirates. That's going to be their name all season. The Booty Pirates.
Booty Pirates.
So Minnesota can get their ass whooped. I'm hoping, just because we saw Justin Jefferson week 1 last year, the way he decimated the Packers. I'm really hoping him and Kirk come with that same energy. I've been rapping about this is their first year ever having the same Kirk Cousins having the same play caller 2 years in a row. Hoping that makes sense. Hoping they look like, yo, we kind of fizzled out in the playoffs. So let's come out here and really show out. So I'm expecting a good game from the Vikings. I really like Madison, their running back. And the Booty Pirates suck to me. So hopefully the Vikings kill them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy you brought up Madison. Like, one of my props is Madison over 66.5 rushing yards. I think people still believe the Bucs have an elite front seven, and as we saw last year, like that front seven was no longer elite. They lost Tua. I know Shaq Barrett's gonna be healthy now, but I don't believe in them being that elite. They lost Ryan Jensen at center for the year. He might retire altogether, so they're gonna have to move around that offensive line again. They already moved Wirfs to left tackle instead of right tackle because they need to protect the blind side a lot more because Donovan Smith is gone. And like this is so many holes I feel like at the Bucks right now. Like this is hard to like on the road too. The Vikings I love me some little Kirk O'Bangs, so I give you the Vikings here easily.
Bro, have you seen the commercial for the 104th like script reading? And they
Yeah,
have like Kirk, yeah, Kirk with the chains and no shirt.
yeah. How about we play shirts and skins? Shirts versus skins. Kurt, I love how the NFL leaned into that for the commercials and stuff.
That was great. And first, I seen it and I was like, "Oh, they're nice." Whoever I forgot who said that dumbass shit, but I'm appreciating them for it now.
Someone said like one of them in the commercial said, "I think this year we should take out Patrick Mahomes." So like, take out Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's like, yeah, yeah. But our next game, one of the closest spreads of the weekend, Pittsburgh Steelers are 2.5-point home dog against the San Francisco 49ers, who shout out Nick Bosa, highest paid defensive player in history. He got the fucking bag. Got paid like a damn quarterback, but he deserves every fucking penny, not gonna lie. They did go out and add Javon Hargreaves to that defensive line too. But Steelers did hunker up on the offensive line. They're a little bit better. George Pickens year 2. Najee Harris fully healthy with a better O line. Kenny Pickett year 2, and TJ Watt's healthy. I think this is one of the more interesting games of the year. Of the opening weekend.
It's Steelers versus who?
49ers.
Ooh, that's a good game.
2.5 underdog.
How you feeling about this?
TJ Watt is a difference factor. I do think the Steelers defense is gonna see. This game could go like Brock Purdy isn't that guy. He got rushed back from his injury. He's not like maybe he doesn't look the same. Sometimes he does look good. Now they got tape on you, and it's the Steelers. Mike Tomlin. He's been prepping for this game for weeks. So like I could see the Steelers coming out and winning it, but like I can't really bet against the 49ers. I think the 49ers are just that team, like the Super Bowl or bust mentality. Maybe they come out flat on the road, but it's opening weekend. Shanahan's been cooking shit up. I just think they're a well-oiled machine. Whereas we're hoping Kenny Pickett comes in to his own in year 2. We're hoping George Pickens is actually that guy. We're hoping that offensive line is better this year. We're hoping Najee looks as good as his rookie year. Like there's a lot of hope on one side versus I know what I'm getting with the 49ers.
That's facts. There's 2 things I believe in with the Steelers. I always believe in that defense wherever they go. And I believe in Mike Tomlin. I feel like Mike Tomlin is one of those dudes that spent the entire summer preparing for game 1. He's been telling them boys, motivating them boys. They're coming in ready to fuck some shit up. And you have TJ Watt. That's always something that you always got to bring up. So it's beautiful. TJ Watt on one side and Nick Bosa on the other side. We're watching a lot of fucking defense this game. But I did like that take that you had when it was like there's a lot of hope with the Steelers. The 49ers, on the other hand, I'm a firm believer in Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. They got weapons. Real killers at all angles to hit you with. So this 49er team has everything you need on offense. And you can probably pretty much put anybody in that motherfucker. We've seen them do it. And you got that defense that is relentless at any and all times. So I like this is probably one of the better games of the week. If I were to give a take though on who to take, we kind of trust the Steelers at home. Mike Tomlin, week 1, probably I bet you as a betting man, there's probably a great record on that around that somewhere. But I'll look it up on Twitter, see if we can find Mike Tomlin's week 1 record. And I do notice that the 49ers do start their season's a lot slower because even we bust their ass last year as the Falcons. So I'm going to be shocked that the Steelers can come in as more. The 49ers the favorite?
Yeah, 2.5-point favorite.
I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers did something crazy. I'm gonna debate it on it from what's Mike Tomlin's week one record.
So, I mean, I'm rocking with the 49ers because I just think they're a well-oiled machine. I mean, offensive line, Trent Williams, George Kittle at tight end, Debo and Ayuk. Brock Purdy, as long as he just does his thing, he's going to look good. And I mean, I feel like Shanahan's system will make him look good. CMC fully healthy, defense, fucking Fred Warner, like Bosa, they just got Hargreave. I think that they're gonna get the Kenny Pickett a lot. I don't think the offensive line is really fixed yet. I think it's a little better, and I just think we'll see the offensive struggles again. I do, however, think because they'll get to him, Pat Fryermuth will have a pretty good game. He always gets a lot of targets from Kenny Pickett. I got him over 3.5 receptions. I think he'll just be the safety valve whenever pressure's coming. He'll get at least over 3.5 catches this game.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine. I'm looking for Mike Tomlin's week one record. I don't know, man. I'm not hearing good things right now.
I know last year they lost to the Bengals, but it was like an overtime game. There was like a blocked fucking field goal or some shit. The touchdown from the corner. I think Burrow threw like a few interceptions. Or was that the year before? I just remember I just like the 49ers here.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna take the 49ers on this one. I don't like agreeing. I don't like agreeing on close games, especially when I have oh yeah, I'll take the 49ers on this one.
And then we got another division, not another, but a divisional game where the Indianapolis Colts are at home, 4.5 point underdog against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Calvin Ridley's back from his suspension. He's playing week one. He's suspected to be wide receiver one for the Jaguars. Anthony Richardson, we're going to see what he looks like. We're going to see the Gator Boy himself running at the helm for the Colts. No Jonathan Taylor, who's on the pup list. It's time to see because Colts also rookie head coach here versus Doug Peterson. Do the Colts? Do you think the Colts have enough to win it at home, or do you think the Jaguars are just going to take care of business?
Oh, you know how I feel about rookie head coaches and rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah,
You know how I feel about them. Ever since who was it? The Jaguars, Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. I haven't trusted that. So oof. I want to see AR. I want to see Anthony Richardson do something crazy this weekend. But I think this Jaguars team is very similar to the Lions. I think they're really a team that feels like they got something to prove. They got momentum from last year, and they only got better in the offseason. So this Jaguars team is about to, and Doug Peterson, class act. So this team is really about to come show them something. And the Jaguars are known for fucking up the Colts.
yeah. I mean, I think we'll see the Colts. I think AR Richardson's going to show the world he's him week one. I wasn't big on him in college, but just everything he's shown in preseason, the athletic freak that he is, I think he's going to shock the world here. I think he's going to run for his fucking life. I do suspect that, but I do think he'll make the throws when they count. I think Michael Pittman's still a legit wide receiver one, and if he ends up having to get those one-on-ones on the outside because people are zoning in on the RPO with Richardson, I could see in that world where Anthony Richardson goes off this game and has like a Lamar-esque rookie type first game where it showcases his talents to the world of like, oh, I'm here, motherfuckers. And a lot of people are counting out this Colts because of that, because of no JT and what the fuck's going on with Ursay. And I just think a lot of people are counting them out. I also think the Jags are sniffing themselves a little too much off of last year. People forget, like, they threw 3 interceptions in the first half of that playoff game. You're not supposed to win that game. They weren't playing great football all the time. They were very inconsistent. It was a roller coaster with the Jags. And I think this is a game where the Colts are going to come out and shock the world. So we're going to have our very first difference here.
We'll see what happens, man. But I also want to shout out the Colts defense. I do want to see how this Colts defense looks like, and I think that's the difference maker.
And real quick, I forgot to hit this on during the Bucks game. I do have Ricard White, the running back for the Bucks, to go over 2.5 catches. I just think Baker's gonna do some dink and ducks, and he's like the pass catching back and RB1 right now. But next game, divisional game, and it was actually kind of a surprising divisional game. I didn't know this, but we got the Browns at home, 2-point underdog at home against the Bengals. Joe Burrow will play. Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Burrow was like 1-3 against the Browns in his career, or 1-4 against the Browns in his career so far. The Browns have owned Zach Brown and this Bengals team. Burrow has not played his best games when he goes against the Browns. Denzel Ward had that 99-yard interception return on him like early in the year last year. He threw, I think, like 2 interceptions that game. They lost the game against the Browns. Does he finally get the monkey off his back and start looking good against the Browns here?
Oh, that's a great question, man. But see, the thing about Joe Burrow is you're talking about the old Joe Burrow. See, we getting paid over here. That was a young Joe Burrow. A Joe Burrow that didn't know what a dollar felt like. You feel me? That boy done got figured it out now. Highest paid player in NFL history, Joe Burrow. You feel me? So we over here counting our checks. You feel me? Counting our stacks. You feel me? And I think that's what Joe Burrow is about to do. I did pick Joe Burrow for an MVP season. Because I think this is the season the Bengals don't start slow. I think the Bengals start really slow every season and end up doing the same. I think this is the year they take that leap immediately. And this team is ready to go fuck some shit up. They lost bad to the Chiefs. They want to show that they got supremacy. And I just like it. I don't really like this Browns team. I'm not a believer in Deshaun Watson. Kevin Stefanski, I think, is on a really short leash right now because they want to know if it was him or Baker. And Nick Chubb can't just do it all himself, even though he does have that O-line. I think Nick Chubb is going to make something shake, but if they can key in on Nick Chubb and keep it manageable, Joe Beasley kills him. And you still got Sam Hubbard and all them boys down low.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson too. I'm going to start off by saying this. This is one of the first of my 5 best bets. -2 Bengals. Give me the spread. I really like the Bengals here. I think they're not respecting them because they usually start off slow and the Browns own them. But if this was Jacoby Brissett starting, I'm not touching this game because of that. But because of the fact that Deshaun Watson starting week 1, where they're going to try to make it into a passing type offense, and I think the first weeks of the Browns are when they're going to look the worst. I think the first 4 weeks of the Browns is whenever they're going to look terrible, and by week 5 is when they're going to go back to okay, we're going to run the ball 25 fucking times with Nick Chubb. It's going to be centered around Nick Chubb. But until then, I think the Browns are going to look terrible because, like you said, Watson, we're not high on him. I think he's going to look terrible. They're going to try to force it. And then whenever they try to get Nick Chubb the ball here or there, Trey Henderson, Hubbard, they're going to make sure to stop those maybe 15 carries he'll get this game because they're going to try to throw it early, get down early, and then be forced to throw it all game, and it's going to look terrible.
Yeah, sounds like them boys. I'm glad we agreed on this one. Joe Burrow MVP. Joe Burrow MVP.
Nah, ain't go that hard.
Not yet. Okay, we'll see.
Highest paid. But best bet -2 Bengals. Next game, we got the rookie Washington Commanders Sam Howell 7-point favorite at home against the Arizona Cardinals without Kyler Murray, no more Isaiah Simmons, no Colt McCoy. Josh Dobbs will be their starter. This is also Bieniemy's first year with the Washington as a co-coach with Ron Rivera. I mean, they're putting a lot of respect on the Commanders here. -7 at home. No one really knows what Howell is yet.
Oh man, Paul, you said it best during the preseason episodes when you were talking about the Cardinals that the fire sale is on. Eventually, they're gonna figure out a way to get rid of everybody. Buda Baker's probably gonna be somewhere new. Hopefully, somewhere fire like San Diego, or where are they at now? Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Like the Chargers or something, maybe the Falcons. But I think this might be one of those games where the Cardinals said if they won one, it could be this one. Like you know how like a lot of like week one Texans games and Browns games back when the Browns were really bad. That week one was like the one they almost got. Like
They
they
got
almost
up for it. They were like, everyone's
yeah,
checking this out. It's showing we're not no bitches.
facts. Like they're okay with just getting up 1 week. Like anytime the revenge games, the Baker Panthers revenge games last year, and then motherfucking they were terrible after that until they got rid of Matt Rule. So like I don't know. I think oh what do you think is gonna happen in this game?
I think Sam Howell fucking stinks.
Wow.
And I have ever since he got drafted, that was my like the worst quarterback out of that top five. And like I had fucking what's his name ahead of him for the Malik Willis. Like that's how much I thought Sam Howell stunk. Like I just don't believe in Sam Howell. Definitely not for a 7 point favorite at home. I'm not touching the spread. I do think it's a silly spread at 7 points. Actually, no, fuck it. I'm gonna add it to my best bets. This is extra best bet +7 Cardinals. I just think Sam Howell is still a raw product, and I don't think he's gonna be a raw product whenever it's all said and done. So
Wow.
I think the Cardinals are gonna come out like you said, Jags week one with Gardner Minshew a couple of years ago, just fucking shock the world, get a win on a game, and then we might not hear anything from them ever again. But I think this is the game where Vegas just got the line a little fucked up.
Yeah, I think plus
Oh,
7 is crazy. I would take the points, but
Josh
yeah,
Dobbs is scary.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might still take the Commanders just because I like the enemy. I believe in the enemy. And I got Scary Terry on my fantasy. So, like, I
And
need them boys.
Scary Terry got turf toe right now or some shit. His toe's fucked up. Like, not to like, I don't know. I will say for the commies, I do have a prop bet that like one of my super locks of the weekend is Logan Thomas, the tight end, to have over 18.5 receiving yards. The Cardinals were dead last year against tight ends, allowing like 60 something yards per game, and like not even a close second, like a next like 15 yards difference between them and the second to last guy. Like they just cannot guard the tight end, and I think Logan Thomas is that solid vet, like definitely tight end one for the Washington, and like 18.5 yards. This is like 2 or 3 catches. Like I think he gets that. I really like that bet for the weekend,
Nice.
but they're still gonna lose. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
I don't know, man. I like Scary Terry. And who's the other one? Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson, second year. He's one of my wide receivers. I think if Howell is the guy, I think Dotson's a legit wide receiver. I think he could potentially be better than Scary Terry by the end of the year.
Chill. That's Scary Terry.
Next game, we're split on that one. Next game, we'll see how. I think we're gonna probably have the same pick here. The New Orleans Saints are a 3 point favorite at home against the Tennessee Titans. We get to see Derek Carr first official game as the quarterback. No Kamara, but they still got Latavius Murray, Jamal Williams, and the rookie. Michael Thomas is healthy, so they say. Olave. Jimmy Graham is back on the team starting at tight end in 2023. But Tennessee Titans, you got D-Hop now. Treylon Burks is year 2. Tannehill's healthy. Derrick Henry is back. I know what your pick is, so I'm just going to go out and say it early. One of my best bets for this weekend, Tennessee Titans +3. Give me the Titans. Even if they lose, I don't think I think people are counting out the Titans offense. Like this offense reminds you of the year when they won 12 games. Like you got Derrick Henry, you're going to load up the box against him. And then they used to have A.J. Brown over there. Now they got D-Hop over there, who I think just has one more good year left in him. And I think we get to see the Titans of a few years ago, and especially a great head coach in Mike Vrabel. Great head coach. Can't ever count him out.
Great head coach. Great guy. But the Saints having Jimmy Graham in 2023 is crazy. That's crazy.
And Taysom Hill still. Let's not forget him. But, I mean, Jimmy Graham, the Saints fan in my mentions are just talking about where he's looking like 2014 Jimmy Graham. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here right now?
That's crazy. But, yeah, I'm definitely taking the Titans on this one. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Titans defense looks like. I feel like they've been I don't think they were that great last year, so I would love to
Nope.
see what they have to shake this year.
They were terrible last year, so I'm not gonna lie, they were ass. But I feel like Derek Carr makes mistakes, even against bad defense.
Derek Carr's still the standard to me. If you're better than Derek Carr, you're a good quarterback. If you're not better than Derek Carr, you're a bad quarterback.
And I will say my Derrick Henry over 78.5 rushing yards to me look too good. I feel like he's somebody you got to set the line at 90, especially like Derrick Henry 78.5. I feel like they're gonna feed him the ball a lot. There is no real running back two right now, so we'll get a lot of Derrick Henry. So 78.5. I feel like we'll hit that number. On to your team, Kev. Opening the year as a favorite. 3.5 point favorite at home against division rival Carolina Panthers. I wish I had Marcus here right now to talk this game, but we don't. So I got to hear your take on y'all's opening weekend game. 3.5 point favorite.
Ah, I mean, I guess we could call them division rivals. I just call them them blue mother truckers. I guess we can call them division rivals. But the best two teams in the division are playing this week. Panthers and the Panthers and the Falcons. You already know. And this is gonna be a good year to see what's going on, man. I want to see they're throwing what's his name, Bryce Young, immediately into the start. He's immediately again. They got him some weapons. Thielen might look decent. Who else is over there? They don't have DJ Moore no
They
more.
got
Who's
the
on the other
rookie
side?
Jonathan Mingo out of like the second or third round. Terrence Marshall, who looked pretty good last year towards the end of the year when DJ Moore wasn't playing too well.
I mean, not terrible. And this is our first year without Dean Pease at defensive coordinator. So maybe this offense can score some points. But I want to see what the fuck this defense got going on, because this defense is the best part about that team. And now our offense, we're fully healthy, we're big, we're ready to run this bitch. So them boys better be ready to fucking run around all day and deal with Bijan, deal with Tyler, deal with Cordero, deal with motherfucking Drake London, big ass blocking shit. Kyle Pitts over there catching shit. So like we have a lot of weapons on offense, and our O line's looking like they're gonna be blocking all year long. So I'm too excited for the season. I'm crazy hyped to see our team look great, and I want to see if Desmond Ritter can just start his rise now.
Yeah, I'm big on the Ritter year two looking really good. I'm big on Drake. I think Drake London probably goes over for 1,000 yards this year just because the way Ritter threw him the ball a lot towards the end of the season when he finally started. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a very tight game though. I don't know this game. I think is gonna be. We'll see who has the better momentum push in certain moments in the game. I feel like we'll see a couple big plays that change everything. Maybe it's like Drake London, like 40-yard catch down the sideline. Maybe it's a Miles Sanders run for the J.C. Horn interception. You know, like I feel like there's gonna be something big in the fourth quarter that really changes the momentum of everything in this game. They'll come right down to it. I was gonna go with the Falcons because I do believe him. But just to make things interesting, I'm gonna rock with the Panthers. Just a divisional game, it gets a little ugly. I think even though I believe in the Falcons offense, I also believe in the Panthers defense. And I think that's gonna be the difference maker in this game. I think that we'll see maybe a costly fumble, maybe from London again, or maybe we'll see an interception. So I just think they'll force something big in the late in the game that changes everything. And the Panthers, Miles Sanders is gonna look great, I think because y'all do have great corners and a good secondary now with Bates there. Jeff Okuda will be there later in the season when he's healthy, but the defensive line is still questionable. And I think Miles Sanders will probably get under Frank Reich will get the running game going. So I like the Panthers here a little bit.
Bro, if you lost the bet to Marcus, you could just say that. You don't gotta just let him bully you like this, man. You could just say that. But I mean, we'll see how the game goes. I always like the first game of the season because I never know what team is showing up. So this is always gonna be fun.
And then let's move on to the next game. But before we do that, let me real quick because I forgot to hit on this earlier. Was I did have another bet that we accidentally passed on. Where was it? Oh, Chris Olave over 4.5 receptions for the Saints. I think 4.5 is a little low for the guy who showcased that he is that guy. I think he's like a 5 catches a little too low for him. So yeah, give me that. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles are 4-point favorite going into Foxborough against the New England Patriots here. One of the like I think my fourth or third best bet of the weekend will be the Eagles -4. It is just in the fucking Super Bowl against a Patriots team that like I'm not high on at all. The Eagles run defense elite, pass defense elite. Juju's gonna get locked down, I believe. I actually got Juju under 4.5 catches just because he's going to go up against Darius Slay all game. I don't see Juju eating well. I don't see Mac Jones doing well. I just think the Eagles defense is going to bully the Patriots this whole game. And the Eagles could start off slow, but I just think their defense is going to bully the fuck out of the Patriots here. 4 points is a little too small.
Yeah, I can respect it. I mean, this is definitely, I believe the Patriots are taking fourth in this division. I don't really see a high ceiling for the Patriots. I think Bill Belichick can get this defense right and have them doing some significant things later in the season. But this offense is going to need a fine tuning very, very soon. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you on this one. The Eagles are a no-brainer. Eagles, they're a team that stayed very similar, stayed very basic, understood that they can work from within. You still got A.J. Brown. You still got Devontae Smith. You still got Jalen Hurts. Still got that whole entire defense.
You brought back the O line.
Mm-hmm. Who's the running back now? I forgot. They got two.
DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny and Kenneth Gainwell, who's been kind of that miscellaneous guy.
Mm-hmm. All hitters, man. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, like 4 points is a little small. Our next game, we got my Miami Dolphins as a 3-point underdog on the road against the Chargers. We get the Herbert versus Tua matchup that people love to talk about. And I mean, this will be my fourth best bet right here. Miami Dolphins +3. I think they're off. They shouldn't be an underdog. I mean, everyone has questions and everything, but I mean, we're coming back with a healthy Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Then our offensive line, Taron Armstead is going to play. Robert Jones is going to play. We got a better offensive line than last year. And in our defense under Vic Fangio, I think this is the game where it's going to showcase, like, oh shit, this defense is legit. Like we're going to get even Christian Wilkins, our defensive tackle, who holding out right now. He still hasn't got paid. But unlike Chris Jones, he's going to play week 1 for the Dolphins. And I think that's fucking like he deserved every penny before, but the fact that he's holding out and then he's still gonna suit up and play for us week 1, give that motherfucker the bag. Because he's gonna go out there and I think he's gonna obliterate the offensive line for the Chargers. And he's gonna show I think by week 2 or 3 he'll get that money because of how much he's gonna ball out this first couple games.
I respect it, man. I think your team did do well. And I'm very high on Mike McDaniels. I think this is the year that he showcases his entire offensive genius mind. But we can't sleep on these Chargers. This team is good. Justin Herbert maybe took a step up this summer. We'll see. But it's beautiful whenever people talk about this rivalry. Because like I was talking to a Dolphins fan outside of a bowling alley not too long ago, the other week to be exact, and he was telling me about how I mean they hate Flores for it, but like it kind of makes sense at the same time. Like they wanted to draft Tua, he wanted Herbert, and now you see the difference. Like it was like, oh, okay, I can see it. So hearing it from two different point of views, like Dolphin fans are really torn in the middle when it comes to stuff like this. So this is a very interesting week 1 game. I'm taking the Dolphins because I feel like you guys have a big no. Tell me why I should take the Dolphins. I'm thinking about taking the Dolphins, but I don't know why I should take the Dolphins.
I think like I said, who's gonna stop the offensive weapons? Tua, as long as Tua doesn't get hurt, which I don't think he will. And I just think Vic Fangio being our defensive coordinator, we're gonna see that defense go from what was it, bottom 4 last year against the pass to now being one of the middle. Not even you don't have to be top 10. There's like middle of the pack, and on top of it, you got we're one of the best rush defenses last year, and I never believed in Austin Eckler. And I just don't think you're going to be able to win a shootout passing the ball against us. I just really like us in a shootout. We saw what we did last year whenever we had to shoot it out with teams. We had more bullets.
Oh, wow, damn. I never thought about that, but I do like this to be a shootout. I'm talking like on some 30-point shit.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I have two little props. Jalen Waddle over 4.5 catches. I mean, that motherfucker gets like 8 to 10 targets a game. Like 4.5, I feel like it's really low. And then
I would
Austin,
say 4.5 is way low.
yeah, Austin Eckler under 49.5 rushing yards. We were one of the top end rush defenses last year with Vic Fangio. I think we're going to get better. Bradley Chubb is going to play the full season for us. Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins. That D line is fucking disgusting. Then Jerome Baker. Uh, yeah, Eli Apple, but we still got Cater. We still got Xavier Howard, Javon Holland. We have so many like playmakers on defense. I think that Vic Fangio is really going to turn it up. So Austin Eckler under 49.5.
Mm. Is this the year Austin Eckler slows down?
I think so. Like, and I think he's gonna be exposed a lot more. Like, he can get the passes, but then he's not scoring 20 touchdowns this season. And like, what else is he really good for?
Yeah, that's facts.
Next game, divisional game. Los Angeles Rams are 5 point underdog on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. No Cooper Kupp for the Rams with his hamstring injury. But as everybody knows, Sean McVay owns Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll owns Shanahan. Shanahan owns McVay. But had one-on-one. I mean, last year Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Didn't they lose to the Rams in the final game of the season? Geno threw like 2 picks or something like that. But I just know these games are always super close. And even without Cooper Kupp, you still got Aaron Donald, still got Matthew Stafford. Van Jefferson's gonna be out there. Cam Akers, offensive line is gonna be fucking ass. But Seahawks defense, I mean, could take a step forward, but to me, I think they're still one of the worser defenses there are. Geno Smith, well, I don't know. I just think this game's interesting. It's a 5 point favorite. You trusting in Geno?
I'm trusting in Geno. It's been Geno time for a little second. I'm not trusting him with the deed to my house, but I'm trusting Geno. I'm trusting Geno to get it done. But more than anything, I'm trusting Pete Carroll because they got to make something shake. They made the playoffs last year. So I only think they're only getting better. And if Pete Carroll can continue to make Geno better, that tells me more about like, damn, it really was him. Maybe it wasn't Russ this whole time.
They did lose the offensive coordinator that was the one that everyone's accrediting towards making Geno's turnaround year. He went to the Bucks. So, but was it offensive coordinator or was it Geno? We'll find out. He does have the weapons. DK, Tyler Lockett, and the rookie Jackson Nicholas Smith will be starting as well. I think it's going to be interesting. Do I want to take the Rams week 1? Do I want to get burned like that? Do I really want to trust in the Rams? Because no, give me the Seahawks. Fuck it. Pete Carroll's going to get the win against McVay. He's going to get the monkey off his back. And that, like I said in the preseason takes for the division, I think the Rams are going to be fighting for first overall pick.
Mm-hmm. They need it.
And then I do have under 253.5 passing yards for Geno. I think the defense does play him very well. So I just don't think he has a big game.
What do you think this is? What's your over-under for the game?
For like the points?
Mm-hmm.
The over-under on points is 46, but I think this game's going to be like a 21-17 game.
I could see that. I'll definitely take the under on that one.
But next game, we got the Green Bay Packers, a 1.5 point underdog on the road against the Chicago Bears. They're a favorite to open the season against the division rival. No more Aaron Rodgers. This is the start of the Jordan Love era. Chicago Bears, I mean, they rebuilt the offensive line. They rebuilt the defense. They got DJ Moore. They still got Mooney. They got Khalil Herbert, running back number 1. Dante Foreman, you know a little bit about him from the Falcons. He's the backup running back. And Justin Fields. It's time to unleash him, as some would say. How is it? It's the closest spread, I believe, of the weekend. So 1.5 points, basically a pick 'em. How are you leaning here?
One thing about the Packers and Bears I always respect is the fact that they really took the time to keep their rivalry. A lot of people could have been like, oh, that's some old shit, especially since do you ever go look at the highlights from this rivalry? A lot of those hits that they sent out and the stuff they were doing would get you banned from the league. Like a lot of Yeah, for like you can't even come in and watch a game. They won't even let you buy a hot dog from the concession stand type band. You're not even allowed to tailgate on the premises. So it's cool that they always respect this rivalry and they keep this rivalry going. So to hear that the Packers are underdog to the Bears is crazy because times have changed. But as you can see, I'm not a fan of the Jordan Love era. I don't think the Packers looked good with Aaron Rodgers last year on offense. So the best they could do is have close games and their defense keeps them close. And if their defense can hold teams under 10 points, I think those are the games that they win because they score like 17 or something like that. But I like the Bears. I think their defense is going to take a step up with the young corners they have, like Eddie Jackson. I can't remember the name of the other one. You still got Justin Fields, and he's unless defense are keying in on him immediately, he still has those wheels. So he's going to figure out a way to get up out of there. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Bears on this one because I also still believe in my decision that they take second in the division.
I have the Bears over the Packers on the division, but for opening game, I like the Packers on the road.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love plays good enough. Watson's going to make him look really well. And I just think the defense is going to be the reason why they win. I don't believe in Justin Fields as a real life quarterback, but a baller in fantasy. But in real life, I don't believe in him either. Who has the better defense here? The Packers. So give me the Packers.
What about Aaron Jones? You think they're going to abuse Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. I think we're going to see a lot of the run and then the play action to Christian Watson, 6'4", got like a 40-inch vert. Like I think they can run a West Coast system and make it look pretty at least decent. Whereas the Bears, I don't know what we expect out of them. I'm not high on Fields as an MVP pick. I think this is gonna be the game where everything comes back down to earth, where everyone's like, oh shit, the Bears did have the number one overall pick last year. They probably not going to be some playoff caliber super squad. I think this will be the game where all that shit goes back to normal.
Dead motherfucking ass, because this field MVP chants are wild.
I do have one prop for this game. Dante Foreman, under 21.5 rushing yards. Khalil Herbert, I think, like all preseason, Dante Foreman has been like the ugly stepchild. They didn't want nothing to really do with him. They brought him in, paid him a little bit. They tried to use him in the preseason and training camps. He didn't look too good. Definitely didn't look better than Herbert. So a lot of people thinking he's going to split carries with Herbert. I think we're going to find out that, like, no, it's a Khalil Herbert or Justin Fields run. That's it. We're not going to see Foreman. So under 21.5.
All right. We'll see.
Last 4 o'clock game before we get into the primetime games and we get the fuck up out of here. We got the Broncos at home, 3.5-point favorites against the Raiders. Divisional game. Jimmy G's first game as the Raiders. Denver Broncos' first game with Sean Payton. No Jerry Jeudy, but we still got Courtland Sutton. Javonte Williams is looking like he will be ready to go week 1. And just before I hand this off to Kev, I will say this is my last best bet of the weekend, and it will be the Broncos minus 3.5 at home.
Oh, for sure. I'm glad that you're taking this right here. Because I've seen a stat that the Raiders have like 6 new players starting on defense this game.
Yeah.
That shit is insane. This is going to be – the Raiders are looking – people keep talking about the Cardinals, but the Raiders are looking like the ugly ducklings of the AFC. So I like the Broncos to look good. I think Sean Payton's coming ready for vengeance and shit, ready to fuck some shit up. I'd seen the quote where he cussed Russ's ass out because he was like, "Stop trying to look so fucking pretty all for the camera. Not everything's a fucking PR." So I'm like, "Ooh, that boy's not playing it. He's not having it," and I'm pretty sure he's gonna have Russ on a short leash. So the Broncos, I still own real estate in there. I think this is the last year we find out if we're gonna sell or not. But let's see what happens, man. I'm picking Broncos this one.
And Javonte Williams coming back. I mean, it was a very bad injury, but I believe in I've been high on Javonte Williams' train since he's a rookie. Since I first invested in Bronco County, it was because of Javonte Williams. So I got over 48.5 rushing yards. I know it's kind of scary because he wasn't even supposed to play week 1, and here he is. But I trust in him, and I trust they're going to run it down the fucking Raiders' throat. Like, how do you stop a great pass rusher like Crosby? Run the ball through the fucking gut, and that's gonna be Javonte Williams' fucking job. We won't see much. So I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Russ throws. I think Sean Payne's gonna run the fucking ball. Just keep running the ball, play action, let Russ do something here or there. But Javonte Williams over 48 and a half. And on the other side, Jacoby Myers under 3.5 receptions. First off, Jimmy G's not a gunslinger. He's not going to throw like 30 or 40, 50 passes. He's not. They're going to try to keep him within 20 to 25. Like at least 8 to 10 of those targets will be going to Devontae Adams. And then I think Hunter Renfrow will get the second amount of targets. Then Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to get some targets. The tight end. Then Jacoby Myers is the other ugly stepchild. Like, it's just like they got him from the Patriots. He was wide receiver 1 on the Patriots. But over here, he's like the 4th or 5th option, I think. So under 3.5 receptions for him. And they're going up against this Broncos defense that's just really, really, really good. I think we see the Broncos win 3.5. Cover the spread. That's my best bet. They run the fucking ball and just play great defense.
Yep, I like to see it, man. I'm glad we kept us land in Bronco County because it looked like it was trying to sell last year, but like we had to wait for the average to go back up.
Yeah, the Rust tornado came and started tearing up all the land, but the Sean Payton GoFundMe is here. And then we get into our prime time games before we hit our locks and dogs of the week and get out of here. Sunday night football, our first Sunday night game of the year. The New York Giants are a 3.5-point underdog at home, where the Dallas Cowboys are 3.5-point favorite. I mean, I saw a stat where it was like the Daniel Jones hasn't beaten or like the Cowboys haven't beaten. I mean, the Giants haven't beaten Cowboys in like 3,000 days or some shit.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, like the Cowboys. The people love to shit on the Cowboys. But the Cowboys make sure they shit on the Giants for whatever reason.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That's an insane stat right there. But I believe it. I think this team beats them in everything they're good at when it comes to running. Running the ball. Tony Pollard. St. Paul Barkley is supposed to be the better running back, but I feel like Tony Pollard is going to get more touches, better O-line. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. Dax is a decent quarterback, but better than Daniel Jones. So yeah, I can see how they bust their ass for 3,000 days sounds like 10 years, I think. Well, no, not 10 years.
It might have been 2,000 days, but it was just an insane amount of days. I was just like, God damn.
Yeah, that's a really long time. I mean, I respect it, but damn, that's crazy funny. How do you think this game plays out?
So last year, I thought they were going to destroy the Giants. Like Micah was going to destroy the fucking O-line. But Andrew Thomas showed the world that he was a legit top end left tackle. But when Parsons wasn't eating, Lawrence got like 3 sacks that game. Was absolutely dominating because they couldn't take away both of them. I think the defense is going to play a big part. It will be interesting to see, though, because I think this will be the first time where the Giants have an offense that can compete in games. Like this, they're no longer like, oh, we just got Barkley. Like they got Darren Waller now. And I think you can build a game plan with Waller and Barkley and win games. And like Daniel Jones can run a little bit, but I'm not big on Daniel Jones. I'm not big on him in primetime games. I like the Dallas Cowboys here. I don't believe in Dak really, but Tony Pollard and that defense. That's all I need to know. I do think though Dak's going to throw a lot. I think they're going to try to run the ball like they said, but it's the fucking Cowboys. They never run the ball a lot. So give me CeeDee Lamb over 5.5 catches. I think CeeDee Lamb is just going to get at least 6 catches. Like he's maybe not yards, but he's going to get targeted double digits. So over 5.5.
Oh, so I do like that. I do like that prop bet a lot. CeeDee Lamb, I don't give him shit for not being a number one, but I always do think like he's not as nice as I think he is, as a lot of people says he is, but he is a really, really good receiver and he gets the job done. And I don't see him doing any worse this year.
Michael Gallup's fully healthy and Brandon Cooks, they got off on the free agency, so they got weapons still.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks 6 times has had a 6-time 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah. Who you going?
The Cowboys. Oh, definitely the Cowboys. I'm thinking they're gonna fuck them up again. But I do think Dayball is not an idiot. I think Dayball has is seeing these trends from the Cowboys. He's figuring this shit out, and he has an offense that could be put together. I think if they lose this one, they win the next one. But I'm gonna take the Cowboys on this one.
All right, in our Monday night football game, the Jets are a 2.5 point underdog at home against the Buffalo Bills. We do Aaron Rodgers' first game there, Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall. You already know the storylines, but I will say I have the Jets higher in the division, but let's not forget last year the Bills opened the season and like blew the doors off the Rams like 45-10 or some shit first game of the season last year.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Bills are great. The Bills have phases. They have like phases where they just look straight up unstoppable, and they got phases where they kind of fizzle out a little bit. And you usually start off the season strong, especially with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. That's one of the favorite duos in all of football right now. For a lot of people in all of football right now, the Bills Mafia comes in this bitch loud, ready to kill. Ready, not ready. They're not jumping out. They probably jumping out, jumping through tables, all types of crazy shit. So I love the Bills in this game. I think the Jets, if the Jets were to win this game, it would have to come down to something crazy on defense. I think the defense makes a play, steals the momentum, and then Aaron Rodgers capitalizes. But I think this is the offense starts to feel each other out versus this Bills team. They're already like fully put together. They know what the time it is. They don't make much changes.
I like the Jets here. Even though I think the Bills are a regular season team and they're still going to end up with like 10, 11 wins, the Jets beat the Bills last year towards the end of the season with Zach Wilson starting. Why? Because the Josh Allen got figured out by the Robert Saleh in that defense, and he threw a couple of interceptions. He looked absolutely ass. And I mean, one thing that we were like, it took a couple of weeks to remember last year, and I'm not going to wait a couple of weeks and remember it off rip. That's why I bet it for a season-long prop. Josh Allen will throw interceptions against a good defense. And if it's going to be a close game, he's definitely going to throw an interception because he's going to try to force something. And that's where I think the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers, where the Bills might have more total yards, more passing yards, they might have the stats, but then there'd be like an interception or some shit, and where the Jets defense gets the takeaway, and Aaron Rodgers won't throw interceptions. There won't be any turnovers on that side.
That's real. That's actually fire.
Yeah, and as a home dog here, I really love the home dog aspect. In prime time, Aaron Rodgers has been that dude. And I mean, the Jets were my Super Bowl pick, and it's that defense plus Aaron Rodgers plus Garrett Wilson and the Robert Saleh head coaching job. I just think the Jets have the perfect mixture to get the shit done.
Then you finna make me go watch the Jets Hard Knocks after this. But now I'm gonna double down on the Bills. I want to see what the Bills defense is looking like. I think this week, this whole first week, I'm just be looking at what a lot of people's defenses are talking about, and then and then that's gonna be how I pick what teams are gonna actually make something shake this season.
We wrapped up the slate that marked every game for the weekend plus Monday. So let's get into everybody's favorite segment, the locks and the dog of the weekend. Where we give out two locks that we feel two money line locks that cannot steer you wrong, and of course the one dog that we feel like is barking the loudest and who we think is going to win outright. Kev, as always, why don't you do me the honor and open up with your locks and your dog?
First time of the year, so first lock, definitely I got the Vikings, Jay Jettas and them boys. I'm expecting them to go just have a show out this week, have a great motherfucking first week like they did last year, and to show that they're ready to come make right their wrongs because that playoff game wasn't the best. Next I got the Bengals. I think Joe the Bag Burrow, got paid. It's always good to see somebody that deserves it, that's earned it, get their bread. So Joe Burrow is going to come out and show out why he's good and tell people to slow down with all that motherfucking injury talk. He's here. He's here to start his MVP campaign. And then for my dog, I got Coach Babel, the woof woof. I got my dog Coach Babel and the Titans, making sure them boys. I like their team to do something crazy this week.
Yeah, and it's always fuck the Saints right now.
Yeah.
Then for me, I got to co-sign with my best bets. My first lock will be the Eagles. I just don't believe in the Patriots at all, and I believe in the Eagles' defense is going to go out there and bully. And Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, the offensive line, AJ Brown. There's nothing. The Patriots always have a good defense, but I just don't think you can stop that offense. There's nothing you can really do to fully stop it. And then the defense is going to just bully Mac. Then I got on the other side will be Broncos to beat the Raiders at home. I think Sean Payton is a great coach. I think he's going to run the fucking ball up down their throat. The Raiders looks like a team that also might have a fire sale come the middle of the year, especially like I said, first coach fired. He was one of my picks, and I think this will be the start of like a whenever they're going to start the season bad. I think so. This will be the first loss on their record to start the season, and then my dog is. I mean, I'm going to come out strong for my team off rip. Miami Dolphins. 3-point dog here on the road against the Chargers. What do you know? You bet against the Chargers when they're at home. You bet on them when they're on the road. They're at home. The Dolphins are going to be there. Tyreek, Waddle. The offense is going to be how it looked early last year when it was electrifying. It was top offense in the NFL by metrics and almost anything you want to look at. Defensive-wise, I think this is where we see us go from one of the worser teams on defense to one of the more – we could be middle of the pack. And we'll still be above heads and shoulders above what we did last year. So I think we're going to take that step forward, and we'll be a more complete team. And yeah, Bradley. People forget Bradley Chubb came in the middle of the season last year, and I think Bradley Chubb's going to get to the quarterback. Jalen Phillips, like, give me the Dolphins to win outright on the road in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
And if y'all didn't catch the prop bets and best bets throughout the episode, as always, I'll have the graphic ready for y'all on Twitter for y'all to tail along. But this has been Totally Blitz Podcast. We broke down week 1 NFL slate. We'll be back for the recap next week. And as always, go down, like, subscribe, comment your picks, comment your bets, and just let us know how you feel that football is finally back, motherfuckers. And as
yes, sir.
I'm Paul Pickle Wyndham Concha, joined by Kevin Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfuckers.
Yeah.